Hello everyone, this is your coach Geeta Dubey and welcome back to my channel. And today we'll be discussing all about discipline. And it's going to be a very informative video because you're going to be learning what different types of discipline are. Do you feel that you are disciplined? We need to be asking that question, quite often to us that do we feel that we are disciplined people? Um, and what are things you can do if you're not following a discipline and how you can get back to the track. And before I do that, please don't forget to press the bell icon and press the like button so that I know I'm making valuable and inspiring videos for you all. But last but not the least, do subscribe to my channel. And with that, let's get started. So let's talk about a quote, okay? You can never conquer the mountain, you can only conquer yourself. How many of you think that is so true? Because if you're trying to conquer a mountain, you will face a lot of failures and also disheartened feeling, correct? But if you're trying to conquer yourself and you're trying to become best version of yourself, understanding what you can do, how you can definitely achieve anything you want. So this was from Jim Whitaker, American mountaineer and CEO. So question, let's all talk about it. Do you have a discipline in life? Do you feel that you are quite disciplined person? Can you describe yourself as a disciplined person? Okay, so we'll be addressing all that today. So let's talk about what are disciplines, why everybody talks about discipline, whether it's your school, whether you are working, whether you're in business, everybody wants to talk about discipline, right? What these are. So there is one, what everybody knows is by the name of self-discipline. The other one is constructive versus destructive. And then there's a plain discipline. Okay, so let's understand what is the meaning of discipline. So the word discipline is derived from the Latin word disciplina, which means teaching, learning, and growth. Okay, so medicines offer three distinct meanings of the word discipline. So number one is self-discipline, where you are aware of the situation and you can adapt to the situation and you change your habits and you become more disciplined. Okay? Necessary condition of orderly behavior. So there is again, when you have to change your behavior, you have to change your mindset, what you're doing, how you're doing. So that is also kind of discipline. Now, active training and punishment. So there are some times you might have seen when you don't follow something, you end up being in the category of, if you don't do that, there'll be consequences. How many of you have heard that? Okay, if you don't finish this on time, you have a deadline, you have this. And as a student, when you were in school, you were told, okay, please bring your homework on time, assignments on time. But if you don't, there could be upteen number of reasons. You are going to face consequences in the form of punishment. So what are the objectives of getting disciplined or being disciplined, correct? To give and seek direction and responsibility, correct? It's very important that if you want to feel more responsible, if you want to feel that you need to have a direction in your life, you have to have a certain amount of discipline in your life. To create an atmosphere of respect for human personalities and human relations. So once if you're disciplined, you would find that you're more open to other people's personalities. You're more adjusting to them because you would understand how you have been and how discipline really works. and to increase the working efficiency and morale of the employees so that their productivity is stepped up, the cost of production improved. This is from the corporate world. Correct? So if you're more disciplined, you follow certain rules and regulations, so you know the productivity of your employees would increase. And if you're in business, if you have some people working for you, same situation applies. So now we'll talk about the types of discipline, okay? So self-control discipline. This is the most common one we talk about. Since our school days, we have been taught on this one. It's a self-control discipline. The employee brings her or his behavior in the agreement with the organization official behavior code, and the common employee regulate activities for the common good of the organization. So similarly, it holds good for the school, correct? When you are a student, you have to have a certain agreement that you'll be doing certain behaviors and you'll be following some certain rules and regulations, which you would do without any doubts in it. So that will give activities for the common good of the school or for the organization. As a result, the human beings are induced to work for a peak performance under self-control discipline. So basically, if you are disciplined, like if you're a student or you're working or you're in organization, if you induce to work for a peak performance, you have to have self-controlled discipline. Enforced discipline is the managerial actions and forces employee compliance with the organization rules and regulations. It is a common discipline imposed from the top. Care manager exercises his authority to compel the employees to behave in particular way. Similarly, as a student, when there's an enforced discipline, your higher authorities, your teachers, your professors, they can enforce certain rules and regulations which you have to take action upon, and you have to follow in certain ways so that you behave in a particular way if by any chance there is some disagreement over there. What is indiscipline? Indiscipline means disorderliness. It's simple. When you don't know what you're doing, why you're doing, insubordination, not following the rules and regulations of the organization or the school or the colleges or anything or the work, correct? The symptoms of indisciplines are change in the normal behavior, absenteeism, like you'd like to be absent most of the times, apathy, go slow at work, increase in number and severity of grievances, persistent continuous demand for overtime allowance, and lack of concern for your performance. So this way we are talking about here for an organization if you're not disciplined. So how you're showing those symptoms, even as a school or college going kid, or as a work or organization person, or in the business, or probably you're a homemaker, you are showing it through some kind of grudges which you're holding on to in the form of apathy, go slow at work, increase in number and severity of grievances, you're always complaining about situations, and showing a very persistent demand for something which is kind of you should not be asking, but you kind of trying to divert other person's attention towards something which is not important. Now, for example, if you're a student, right? And if you have not done your assignments and your teachers have said that, okay, we got you, you're not doing your things well, and we need to speak to your parents. So you try to divert them. No, it's just a parent-teacher conference. They want to discuss something. But the teacher only calls the parents when there is some kind of pattern or of a behavior by the student. Similarly, in the organizations, similarly, you can put it in the home situation. So what is the positive aspect? The positive aspects, like I'm talking about the organizations here, employees believe in support discipline, adhere to the rules and regulations as desired standards of behavior. It's simple. What is the negative aspect? Now we are talking about, again, organization. When you're working, employees sometimes do not believe in support and support discipline. As such, they do not adhere to the rules, regulations, desired behaviors of an organization. As such, disciplinary program forces constrains the employees to obey the orders. Then you're enforcing the discipline on the employees. What is self-discipline? Now, self-discipline is the best defined as ability to regulate one's conduct. So you don't need any external enforcement. You know what you need to do and you just follow it as is. By principle and sound judgment rather than by impulse, desire, or social custom. Self-discipline can be considered a type of selective training, creating new habits of thought, action, and speech towards improving yourself and reaching your goals. So when you are into a self-discipline mode, you're always trying to improve yourself first because you're not looking for any external, as of now, like any validation in the form of that you don't behave, you are in control of your sound judgment, you are don't work from the area of being very impulsive or as a social custom. So what are the 5 pillars of self-discipline? Because this is the most important one. So number 1 is the acceptance of the situations you are in, whether it's a good or bad. Now, acceptance could be like you are in a situation and you are able to look at all the possibilities regarding either that situation, whether it could be work, business, or home. Okay. Next is willpower. We all need to have a willpower because we cannot be consistent if we do not have a willpower to work with. Number 3 would be hard work. Yes, you have to keep doing. Even if you face failures, you have to keep improving yourself. Number 4 would be industry. You should know what you're doing, which industry you're associating yourself with or your services with. Okay, so you have to have the clarity over there of the industry you are working with. Number 5 would be persistence. We all need persistence so that we are able to understand our patterns well, our discipline, whether it's working for us or not. If we need to change anything, you need to ask all those questions if something is not working out for you. So if you take the first letter of each of the 5 pillars we talked about, it comes out to be a whip. Correct? So acceptance A, willpower W, hard work H, industry I, and persistence P. Since many people associate discipline with whipping themselves into shape. Correct? We have all seen that. All right. To be self-disciplined, what you need to do. Now, please hear it out very clearly. Get yourself organized. Okay? Don't constantly seek to be entertained. You know how many people spend so much of hours on social media today? And they're not using the right way. They are just being there, scrolling up and down and just watching videos, just watching what other people are doing. Simply. Correct? They are not utilizing it the right way. They are not using the best what a social media can do to impact other people's life. It's a powerful tool. Other one is be on time. If you are just one thing you need to get started with becoming more disciplined, just start with just being very punctual and being on time. Okay? Keep your word. Now, if you give a commitment to somebody that I would come, I will do certain thing, I will call you, I will finish this work for you, I'll be there for you, so just do it. Okay? Unless there is a genuine situation arises and you cannot do it anymore. Do the most difficult task first. Now, this one I can say it for myself. Long time back, I used to have a lot of, I would say, doubts when I used to do tasks, and I never used to pick up the hard one first. But then I realized if you pick up the hard one first, you get so motivated when you do the easier task and you know, wow, I did all of it. So when one of my videos I talk about in time management, when I talk, like try to do something which is harder, but simplify into manageable steps and then go ahead, because don't get overwhelmed that you will not do it. Definitely do the hard tasks, but do it in such a way that you're following the manageable steps and you're not getting overwhelmed. Finish what you start. Always finish what you start. Whether it could be anything. It could be for a homemaker cooking food, for a organization, hiring employees, for an employee, finishing his work on deadline, for a business person. It could be generating monthly revenue. Whatever you start, whether you have not been able to finish it completely, that's fine. But it should go from point A to point B, and it should show a finish line. Okay? How much productive it was, that is a separate question. But always try to finish what you start. Accept correction. So whenever you feel that something has not been working for you, accept a correction for it. You don't have to feel, again, I feel some people get guilty, oh my gosh, I'm asking too much, or it's not me. They try to divert. They try to, when manager tells them, okay, this doesn't look good, how you reflect back. You feel that, oh no, it's not my responsibility, things like that. So accept it. If something is not working out, just clearly accept it. Start at home, actually. Start with your children, just as a parent, as a child, if something is not working, just say, oh, it's not working out, sorry, I need to do it again. That's it. So I accept it. You can use the word accept also. That also helps a lot. Practice self-denial. Now, self-denial is sometimes you deny things which are not in your favor, okay, which are not working out at the larger scale. So you have to practice some of the self-denial, Okay, something like, for instance, when you're working, some things you don't need to get into unnecessarily. Correct? So that is the practicing your self-denial. Welcome responsibility. So always be enthusiastic whenever you're doing something. Okay, if I don't know this, I'll try to learn this. So when I was starting this social media thing, and how I generated so many followers was, I didn't know what to do in the beginning. I was just like you all, and I was figuring it out because there's so much to learn. And then once I started to get a little hang of it, how things are done, and I became more disciplined in the form of time management, because I thought I'll keep doing it whatever the results are. I would not get probably disheartened, okay, I'm not getting what I really want to, but probably there's a learning curve going on over there. So welcome responsibilities, even if they're out of your comfort zone. You can try some tasks and you will feel so confident. And that would give you so much of energy to do even the harder tasks. So I think on the weekly basis or the monthly basis, try something which is out of your comfort zone. Something, you want to do, or you had been postponing it, something in those terms. All right, thank you so much for watching me today, and I hope you enjoyed. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also please do hit the like button and the bell icon so you would know that I'm coming up with more videos like that. And I will see you in the next video with more growth on business and life coaching, and of course motivational tips. You all have a wonderful day.